In today's demonstration, we're going to take a look at the new Xbar plugin from Saleslogix, and it's for Outlook. And we've installed the Xbar in our Outlook system, and it created a new panel over on the right-hand side of the screen, and you can see that it's presenting me with Saleslogix data about the particular email recipients that I have highlighted over in either my inbox or sent box or deleteds or drafts, doesn't matter. So any email you have in your Outlook, once you highlight it, these panels changed to try to match Saleslogix related data, and it's doing that based on the email address. So any email address that's stored in Saleslogix that it finds a match on is going to present one of these data dashboard cards in the Xbar panel. So what you'll see is, in this particular email I have highlighted, I've got John Abbott, and the reason John is here because he is who the email was from. And you can see that in the little from icon, and then down below that we have to Sophia, because she's the one who received the email. So both of us are involved in this email from and to. And if there's anybody else that was CC'd on the email, their cards would be showing up in Xbar as well. And some of the other things I can tell in the Xbar panel is that John Abbott is not only a contact record in Saleslogix, he's also a Saleslogix user. And that's why this U with the black box around it shows up. And I can toggle the contact view or the user view by clicking on these icons. So as a user, I have a certain phone number in here for him. I can see that he's also listed as the system administrator, and he has a particular email address. So if I click on his contact record, and this is because his email showed up twice as two different entities in Saleslogix, you get a little bit different information on him. Now Sophia is a contact record, so she only has the C, so she's just a contact, not a Saleslogix user. And you can see that she is who the email was sent to. Okay, now some of the other ways, if you have lots of emails, lots of CCs, you can filter on exactly what it shows you in this dashboard view by clicking on CC to, from, or all, which is going to show you everybody in a scrolling list in the Xbar. Some of the other things we're going to see are there's this icon in the upper left that slides out a panel that's going to show you that, okay, we're logged in as the administrator, which is why it says Welcome Administrator. That's who we're logged in as through Xbar. You can also do what's called a global search, an account search, or a contact search. These searches are all based on the speed search indexes that are being used in your Saleslogix system. So a global search is going to search everything. So if I put in a couple of letters here because I know that an account or contact or lead starts with ABB, and so what it's going to do is return then a list of any record, whether it be a contact, an account, or a lead that has those that letter string in it. So you'll see some contacts were found. I'm not sure if it's going to find any leads for me or accounts, but if it did, those would show up with a different letter designation, so you knew what kind of record it is. And also from this view, you can click on, for example, Jeff Karsten, and it pulls up his Saleslogix record. Now, he had nothing to do with the email we were on. This is a function that's outside of the email integration and just saying, I'm just looking for somebody because I want to do something with him, like look at his activities, tickets, or send him an email. I can also go back anytime I want to the home screen just by clicking on that home icon. So let's go back to that search screen again. So obviously if we chose to search only by account, you can pick which account field it's going to apply the search criteria to. So we're presented with the fields available in the Saleslogix account table here. I also have the option to put what's called a Boolean operator in here to say, well, if it contains it, I want it to show if it's equal or starts with or ends with. So you have some adjustments you can make in exactly what data it's going to use to search on and how it's going to perform that search. So I didn't find any account that is just an X, But if I say if it contains an X, let's try it again. And we should get some records back, and we did. We found some company or account records that have an X in them, and so now it's presented us with that list. And just like we clicked into that contact record, we can click into an account record and see all the information that's coming from Saleslogix right here in Xbar. Let's go back one more time, and another function is called What's New. And What's New is going to bring back a collection of all of the latest activities and history records that have been created in the database. Now, as a user, I have to first have security access to see records. So Xbar is honoring the security roles and account security based on team and ownership. So it is only going to show me what I'm able to see, but as you can see, it's presenting me with a scrollable list of the very latest things that have been added by some user into my Saleslogix system. You can also see that this little red exclamation point is telling me this activity is past due by 2 months. And so that's what that particular icon means. Now you'll also notice that as I hover my mouse over some of these bold words and hyperlinks, that's what they are, is hyperlinks. So I can click on any one of these and go directly to California Electric's account, which will open up Saleslogix in the browser in the background. I can go directly to this linked opportunity record. And because this is an activity, I can also open the meeting record and see a little thumbnail view of the details about that Saleslogix scheduled activity. I can also change some of the fields in here, like change the due date using the calendar picker, pick a new date because it was a past due activity, change the contact, link it to an opportunity that Joe is a part of, link it to a ticket, change its priority. So a lot of the common things you would be doing with activities in Saleslogix you can do directly here in Xbar. And then once you're done, you can save your changes, and it immediately updates that. It's a live connection, so it's not synchronizing data. It's using S-data and doing a live update as we're making changes to records here in the Xbar tool. So let's jump back to the dashboard view and look at a few other things we can do. You can collapse these panels so I don't have to see everything there is for my 2 records that it matched on. You can also use this arrow key to open up John Abbott's record again in your Saleslogix web browser. So that's what that's doing. Other things we can do is click on this little action button here, and what that's going to do is present me with some options available to me, such as I can update a contact record, add a new Saleslogix account or contact, a new lead, a new contact. I can also schedule new activities for John Abbott because he's the record we started from, so it's going to know that I'm trying to schedule a meeting for John. I can also create a new ticket or a new opportunity, and he'll be included in that opportunity, again, because we started on that record. So if we click on New Phone Call, you'll notice it pulled in John Abbott as a contact, Abbott Limited as an account, and I'm able to now go ahead and finish filling out the rest of all the information that's important for this particular scheduled phone call. And just like before, once I'm done, I save it, and now I'm going to have a brand new scheduled activity in Saleslogix. You can see too, it gave me a little confirmation here that indeed it saved that new activity record for me in the John Abbott record. Now another way I'm going to get to see that is if I click on the activities button here, it pops down another sliding panel that shows me the latest information in Saleslogix about John. It shows me the latest 3 activities where he is one of the contacts on that activity. You can also click on more, because if there's more than just the 3, I can see all scheduled activities for John Abbott. So then we can always go back one screen just by sliding that panel back. And we can do the same thing with history. So on John Abbott's record, if he's got any history records, there they are. There's the last 3. Click on more, and there's all the history records available on John Abbott in the system. Finally, we can look at notes. So these are notes that are in the history table for him. And another thing I can do is add a new note. So I can just type in add new note. And so this is going to create a new note entry in the history table. So I click on that little save icon there, and it automatically added a new note into the database right on the fly. We've also got a couple of KPIs here, key performance indicators. That's what they call the dashboard. I can see if he's got any open tickets, any open opportunities. And if there was multiple opportunities that were open, it would show me the total sales potential for all those opportunities here in this particular box. Okay, so what else can we do? These icons are going to show me the ability to, for example, create a new email, create a phone call, show his calendar, create a new opportunity. So these are similar to the actions that we saw on this panel, except I can just do a one-click and immediately open those up. Or I can click on his email, and you can see that it automatically filled in his email address, put in my signature, ready to be sent as a brand new email, and then I can save it to history by choosing the Send Saleslogix icon. One other thing I want to show you is the ability to update records and create new records from within the Saleslogix Xbar. So I'm going to switch over here to my inbox, and you'll notice that in this particular email, I've got a signature. So if I want to quickly add Lee Hogan to Saleslogix, I can highlight his signature and then drag that over to the Xbar and let it go. And it's going to ask me a question. What are you trying to do? Well, I'm trying to create a new lead or a new contact. So let's say we're trying to create a new contact because Lee Hogan is not in my database. So it will automatically fill in as much as it can in figuring this out. Now, this is a beta release, so this is all not completely code complete. So this is, again, going to be working in the release product. It would attempt to fill in as much of this as it can based on what it thinks the value of some of these fields are. But let's say it got the account wrong. You can highlight that and drag that up in here. And I can also see that, well, even though he didn't tell me, I know this is his fax number or his mobile number. So I can grab that phone number and drag it over into one of the phone fields on the right. So right on the fly, I can build out his new record. And then once I save my changes, it's going to, again, create him as a brand new record in the Saleslogix database. Okay, so we're going to agree not to save that. And that's everything I was hoping to show you today about the new Xbar. It's compatible with Saleslogix 8.0 and 8.1. Another question we get is, do I have to have the web client? And the answer is no. This does work with the LAN client users. The only thing that's not going to function is you'll notice that if I want to do a hyperlink out to John Abbott's contact record in my Saleslogix, it's going to open the web client. So it won't open the LAN client, but you do have to have the web components installed and deployed on your system in order for Xbar to function. So it will open the web client if you have that available to your users. But even if you are just LAN, all this data pulling and pushing that we played around with today is still going to work with the LAN client. So most everything is there. So that's everything I had to show on Xbar for now. We are going to do another demo once the final product is released, because we know there's more features coming. It will be code complete, and we're expecting that in just a couple of weeks. So thanks for watching the demonstration on Saleslogix Xbar.